Hello and welcome to me adjusting my chair. Also to Defense Grid 2, which has an interesting menu. It's a little weird. Works a bit better with a controller. Obviously the game seems to be designed around a controller. I don't know if that's true, but it works really well with a controller. It works perfectly fine without one as well, but hey. It has multiplayer, which I do not believe the original Defense Grid had, but I could be mistaken there. So, you know, we can go in here. I'm offline, so I can't actually do anything, but you can do DG Fighter, which is your traditional kind of versus tower defense mode, co-op doubles, which is just two people defend, and then DG Coordinated, which is you can only build on your squares rather than whereas co-op doubles you can build on every square, and you've got, you know, modifiers like limited towers, fully loaded, out of bullets, whatever. Difficulties, traditional. Then you've got this. Any obviously means any. Open is what I generally play on. Tower items and command items special weapons are available for use in missions, which I'll explain better. Competitive, towers cannot be sold and the items are unavailable for the mission. And competitive unlimited sell, which means you can sell items and those are still unavailable. And difficulty goes all the way to elite, which requires skill in tower items. I'm not sure if you can do elite without playing on open, but I could be mistaken. There's also local multiplayer, which I could show you. It has some issues. I have a 360 controller plugged in. In fact, let's quickly show that. Shut your face. We're just gonna go into Threshold story. Doesn't matter. Restart. Doesn't matter. Blah blah blah. I'll explain that stuff later. So one player, in my instance, because I have a controller plugged in, one player would be the mouse and keyboard player, and then the other one would be the controller player.
Commander shuttle seems like an asteroid mining facility.
An asteroid mining facility indeed. So here's the mouse player, moves around a lot. Here's the controller player. Now we can both build, because it's just regular mode, we can both build on any square. But, I want to talk over General Fletcher here. If I try to build something with the controller, and the mouse is still on the active field, you can notice it's not physically possible for me to move the tower selection. This may have been patched since release, I don't know. But the only way to fix that is to have the keyboard player bring up their own tower build menu or some other menu, I suspect, and that allows you to, as you can see on the right side, control the selection with the controller. But, in fact, I'm not even touching the controller anymore, and it just stops. I can bring it over here, and that kind of makes it stop freaking out, but it's an issue. I don't know how to make it not do that, but it doesn't really matter for me anyway. Let's exit to the main menu, because I don't have anyone to play local multiplayer with, but that feature is there. There's also custom levels, which I don't have any of, but it's also nice. We're just going to go to level I haven't done. Like Rapid Collapse, which I'm sure will go poorly. We're going to do it on normal story and just kind of run through it. So, in this version of Defense Grid, otherwise known as Defense Grid 2, you have tower modifiers and a command team. Your command team is basically your special weapon.
Resource stimulus package.
Indeed. She doesn't say anything. She has a tower overcharge that increases tower damage for a set duration. She has an orbital laser, which is really nice, and she has a resource reinforcement special weapon, which just gives you money, basically. And as you move through the story, you get these tower modifiers. So if I do none, it's just a standard laser. It performs perfectly the same as any other laser. But if I set it to shield splitter, it does an additional 20% bonus damage against shields. It does normal damage to everything else. This is why on competitive you cannot use these, because they just make your towers better. I don't have many of these. In fact, I only have 2 apparently. This one also does this, but considering how Meteor works, it being a long-range AoE, I'm not sure if it's worth it. I mean, it does do an additional 20% damage, so we will just run with that, I guess. And we're just gonna launch. That's basically how that system works. As you go through the story, you'll unlock different modifiers. I have no idea how many there are. It could just be 1 per tower for all I know. There's your story. Whatever. It's Defense Grid.
Why would you be worried about me? I'm doing fine.
Hi, excellent. I see you're feeling better.
You can't actually see me, Fletcher. I'm an AI without a body. Then again, bodies are overrated, except for celestial bodies, which are shiny and smell like morning.
Oh no. I'm afraid she's still altered. I'm scanning her now. Nothing appears to be corrupted there. It does appear that parts of her code seem to be missing.
I'm fine. Never better. Let's kill aliens and then we can get to know each other better. Cool?
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Cool.
The general setup for the storyline here is that these creatures are corrupting the AIs, basically, and we're going around killing them. Last time someone said something about appeasement, not entirely sure what's going on there, but what I do know is that I really like concussion towers. Also, this game has a bunch of visual modes. I currently have heat map mode on, which if I push, I believe, T, yeah. It'll show me where my damage is applied to enemies, which is nice to know. Does concussion hit that? Concussion does. I'm gonna need temporal towers at some point here. But for now, we'll just do this. This is your traditional tower defense game. There's nothing remarkably special about it, to be honest, but, you know, it's there, I guess. I should be using my resource laser. Probably a better place to fire that, but whatever. There's also something I actually should have built over there, which is called these boost towers. And it kind of sucks that I didn't build it over there, but I might be able to sell those and then build boost towers. Boost towers are basically blocks, but you can upgrade these blocks to apply additional damage. We'll go ahead and build those infernos over here. You can upgrade those towers to provide additional damage, or...
Did I mention that boost towers actually add abilities to towers on top of them?
Yes.
I know, I couldn't believe it either.
In this instance, we have Disruptor, which reveals stealth, and Overcharge, which increases damage output, which is nice. I approve. Also, I'm playing very poorly, but, you know, that's what happens when I'm not paying attention and put down the wrong towers all over the place. We should be fine. You can also fast forward. It's tower defense. In the settings, you can change the default speed as well as the fast forward speed if you so desire. Top right is actually a score graph, which is really cool. I like the score graph, at least I like watching it anyway. Let's do a Tesla there, Tesla there. I like mirroring stuff. It's probably not efficient in any way, shape, or form, but I like stuff that's mirrored. It looks a little bit better in the long run. Probably not nearly as
I
efficient.
see the temporal tower is now available. Slows them down and keeps them in the line of fire of other towers.
Indeed. I will build a temporal tower somewhere,
Looks like we have their fastest aliens coming our way.
but I'm not sure where. Could build one right here, I guess. I kind of need one for those, to be honest. What does the upgrade on that do? Upgrades range. Significantly upgrades range. Well, with this newfound knowledge... Actually gonna build a temporal back here. Go ahead and sell the tower there. By the way, I'm losing things, it's fine.
I think in there somewhere.
I'm not terribly fussed about that. We'll build a gun there, gun there.
See if you can find a few of my pieces too. I don't seem to remember parts of yesterday or even how I started this sentence. Very disconcerting.
I have no real idea what the story is because I'm not paying attention to it. Usually I just have the F key, well, not held down, but usually I have the F key pressed and I'm just kind of doing this. What is this? Can I build new tower slots? Losing a lot of things because I don't have my towers upgraded over here. My lasers, anyway. I need to upgrade my lasers for them to get the shield splitter ability. It's not free, basically, is what I'm getting at. I need to upgrade this thing because that thing's not doing nearly enough damage.
I'm sure of it. We're more than just our actions.
In the meantime, because I'm already, well, actually, I'm already failing poorly. I really should.
Nothing can change that.
Really should maintain some form of defense here.
Chewy center.
I dare you to tell her that once she recovers.
I just hope I get the chance.
You can also right-click on stuff and get details, by the way, which is nice to know. You can see current effects and all that stuff, which for the most part is just being slowed down. That thing can carry 3 cores. I do not approve of that. I also didn't build a boost on that either. God dang it. So overcharge you, disrupt you. That'll give us a bit more damage. As you can see. What we also need are meteors, but I don't have any meteors. We could set up a bunch of meteors over here for giggles. We could also set them up here, right? Yeah.
Boost towers can have a tower built on top of them.
I'm aware.
Yes, I'm absolutely serious.
I know how boost towers work. It's not my first scenario. These meteors should help. Meteors are basically just AoE long-range cannons. You also have missile launchers, which I never really build. We don't have them unlocked yet, but missile launchers are long-range single-target artillery pieces. They do very high damage to one thing, as far as I'm aware. And these are stealth enemies. Thankfully, I have a disruptor. So, good luck to them, I suppose. Also, I'm not firing my laser. I'm playing really poorly, but you get the general idea of what's going on here. So what are these? Did that build a thing? Activated. Is that this? It would appear that I can build additional, and I didn't know this, it would appear that I can build additional tower spots, tower dongles. Which is cool, I like that. Although I've obviously never used it, so it's not particularly necessary. This thing's beefy. Oh, it's one of those. Fair enough. Once you get a decent setup going, and I would be doing much better if I actually had a proper setup from the start of this, including cannons, which we apparently need. But if you get a decent setup, you have very little risk on normal difficulty of actually losing missions. Even if you do poorly, like I have done here, it's pretty difficult to lose, to lose missions. This dude might be, no, I was gonna say he might be a problem, but we really should have cannons up for that guy, as well as more temporal things, but I think I'll just focus on upgrading his cannons for now. From the start of the game, unlike the original Defense Grid, you can upgrade all the way to Tech 3, or Level 3 Red Towers, which are these. This is, as far as I'm aware, the highest upgrade available, at least as far as I'm aware. You cannot, however, build all towers, so whilst you can get Level 3 towers, they are not, you know, you can't get Teslas on Level 1 unless you're running fully loaded modifiers or whatever. So see, this is already a much better setup, which is nice, because that, you know, what I was doing previously was not working terribly well. Also, you can hover over, I think I may have mentioned this, but you can hover over individual towers and see specifically where their damage is applied. So you can see these guys are applying damage basically everywhere around the map, as they should be. That's what they're there for. Whereas these lasers are applying very heavy damage right there, which is their range, so. The score you get for any individual level is based on how many cores you have at the end, as well as things killed. I think it might have resources left. Unlike the original one, though, where you got bonus resources for having resources left over at the end of every wave, that is no longer the case in this. You get set resources for every enemy killed, rather than resources for not dying horribly at the end of the level. Or whatever. No, not. What, you know what I mean. Things. See, can I upgrade this to level 3? I can. What does that do? More range. Plus it looks sweet. The tower designs look really cool, by the way.
Let's do it again.
Fletcher. Yes, the code is still missing pieces.
Indeed. Look at me go.
Must depart at once.
I want to skip the story. We will do... I didn't get a medal at all there. We will do one more bit further down. You also, or at least I seem to, for whatever reason, have access to every mission from the start of the game, which is a bit bizarre, but hey. Actually, we could do an earlier one that I have already done. Is it this one? I think it's this one that I've done before. Let's see. Any modifiers? We could always do grinder. 100 waves of walkers. You know what? We'll do that for a while, just for giggles. I haven't unlocked anything, I don't think. Just same old as before. We'll do a couple, I don't know how many. I'm not gonna say a couple because that's like 20 seconds, but we'll do some waves of grinder and see how that goes.
Oh, and boost towers block alien paths. Is there nothing these towers cannot do?
Is there nothing these towers cannot do? There's quite a few things these towers cannot do. Like, shoot things, I guess. So plop down some gun towers there. We'll put down... I need an inferno somewhere, but I'm not entirely sure where I want to put that inferno. I guess we could put it here. That should do fine. Out of curiosity, do I have stuff from later missions? No, I do not have stuff from later missions if I go back, which is to be expected, to be fair. You don't expect to have things unlocked before you actually do that particular level. A laser there, a laser there. A Tesla there. Also, they're stealing all my cores. I'm not terribly fussed, although I should be, considering I don't have any upgraded towers and it's already wave whatever this is. This is kind of what this mode is, though. It's just a ridiculous nonsense stream of crap attacking you 24/7. This is why it's called Grinder, by the way. In fact, my most efficient towers would be Teslas and flamethrowers, Infernos, whatever these are called. So I should probably focus very heavily on those. And concussions. I could probably sell all 4 of those towers and not lose out on a whole lot of DPS. Which is probably a bad sign, but hey. So I'll sell you. In fact, we will go ahead and sell these towers, because this is basic grinder, so there's not going to be anything but walkers. Put 2 concussions there. It's actually remarkably easy to survive 100 waves of pure walkers because they're just pure walkers. Sure, they'll start spawning in massive quantities, but you can AoE massive quantities pretty easily. Go ahead and sell these towers as well. Plus we can run all overcharges, which is, you know, a remarkable increase in damage, 25% per tower, and these concussion towers do a lot of damage. You can see how quickly that damage starts stacking up. Of course, Teslas and flamethrowers do quite a lot of damage as well, but if you get a good concussion tower set up, it's probably your highest AoE damage. It sucks against shields, though. Stuff appears to have stopped spawning. We lost 2 cores at some point, apparently. It's kind of disappointing. Also, I don't know of a way to preemptively send waves. Whereas, I'm pretty sure in the original Defense Grid you could preemptively send attack waves out. I do not know how to do that in this in Defense Grid 2. I'm not aware of a means of doing that, so... There probably is a means of doing that, but I have no idea what it is. I feel like I should build a meteor there. Get that thing fully upgraded. And then boost it, for giggles. Overcharge. And that hits, yeah, that hits that entire kill zone in the front there, easily. Oh hey, the game got tired of spawning incredibly weak ones, and now it's going to spawn smaller groups of slightly stronger ones. Hooray. Build more towers, probably. The core has been returned. What I should probably do is upgrade these concussion towers, to be honest. Because you can already see that's at 36,000. They're remarkably more damage. The meteor, however, but then again, that's an expensive tower. But anyway, this is Defense Grid. If you like the original Defense Grid, you'll probably like this because it's basically more of the same. If you didn't, or you don't like traditional tower defense games like this, which allow you to build your own mazes, if you're into that thing, this game is not for you. It's literally Defense Grid 1 with some additions. There's remarkably little that's actually different from the original, but there are enough things different that fans of the original Defense Grid will find something they enjoy here. I particularly like the heat maps here that tell you where all your damage is applied. You can see basically all my damage is applied right there on the front, which is nice. But anyway, this is Defense Grid. This is every level of Defense Grid. There are a large variety of enemy types. Shielded, cloaked, fast, things that spawn other things. It's a tower defense. It's got your traditional assortment of enemies that are horrible, horrible abominations and stuff like that. So, it's a thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with presumably not Defense Grid 2.